Ah, look at Octavian go. Ooh, a lot of lag. Hey there guys, my name is Blake, also known as the Nerd, and welcome to another episode of Animal Crossing New Horizons. And if you've been following the series for a while, unless there's a 3.0 update to this game, this will be the final video of the series. For those of you who weren't here last time, probably a lot of you, since you probably just clicked because there's tour video in one of the tags, which is what we're doing this episode. But last time, we just revamped our kitchen, or our restaurant area, as well as giving Fauna a redecorated home, something a bit better than what was already there. If Fauna or Eric in their house would like to show that off, but if not, that's completely fine. You've already seen Fauna's if you've seen the previous video. But for those of you who are just wanting a tour of Costa Nerd, well, congratulations, you're getting yourself a tour. Right now, we gotta have to go through Isabel's dialogue as well. Oh, wait. Share with everyone. Oh, okay, so someone's at my page. Well, it kind of sucks because they're gonna be passed out since this is basically just a tour of the island, basically. So, fair warning to anyone who's watching this video, there is no cohesive theme to this island. There's gonna be multiple small themes, but that's as close as you can get to themes. Other than that, there's no really particular theme. So if you're looking for a specific theme, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to find it here. In fact, you're probably not going to find any theme at all. But for those of you who don't care, let's just go ahead and get started. And I'll meet you guys over at the entrance right after I check this mailbox, because there might be something here. And from whom? Oh, Eric. Did you know that he's so popular? Yeah, I'm just going to throw this away. Oh, wait. I got you something for tea time. Oh, okay, I see the laziness in that one. All right. Let's open this up real quick. It's in here. It better be good for... He said tea. That is a coffee cup, sir. I mean, you could probably put tea in there. But let's start at the very beginning. And you also notice this blue time is because the 2.0 update came out in like October. So I'm doing this in the wintertime because that is the most recent update. So let's assume you started off at the airport. Well, obviously you're gonna show off the airport. You'll, I can't even talk right now. Holy cow. You'll start off at the entrance here. Now, this is where some of the minor changes and some major changes happen. If you've seen the previous tour, which I'll have in the top right corner, or if you've been around the series for a while, there was no standing flag. I can't even remember the name because I'm recording it, of course I forget names. Actually, I think it might have more of that. But this is the entrance you would appear in. We have some Capricorn statues, you get the flags now holding the little clouds, and then you have the monster statue representing. And there's also two different archways. Depending on which one you go will determine where you start your journey. The brown one leads to the neighborhood, while the white one, or the kind of gray one, leads into the city. And how I'm going to show off this island is I'm going to start at the very right and kind of go clockwise. Kind of. You'll see what I mean a bit. But let's start off on the right. Oh, actually, Raymond reminded me of something. Let's take a look at the villagers first. So these are by far the more popular villagers. There used to be some non-popular villagers that I really did like. I guess the only exception would be Pietro. We have Audie, we have Raymond, we have Eric, we have Poppy, Pietro, as I mentioned earlier. Apollo, I was thinking Sam the Eagle for some reason from the Muppets. We have Marshall, Fauna, Octavian, and the most recent one, Anka, who up until the 2.0 update was the most popular one. I think you can guess why. But anyways, let's start off at the far right. We're actually not going to go towards the villagers yet. We're actually going to start at the very, very far right, so that way I can actually remember what that is, because I might not remember the next time we're over here. But you kind of get a glimpse of the neighborhood. We'll go over it in a little bit. We have a volleyball court over here in case you feel like playing some volleyball. I have a bottle which will open right after the tour is over. I also should not run. I should be walking a bit more. And so on the far right is ancient artifacts of Costa Nerd's past, quote-unquote past. Because while Costa Nerd was recent, we had to make discoveries around here. So you see little ancient artifacts, and you also saw fossil. So yeah, that is the past before Costa Nerd was even a thing. There was a bunch of fossils and ancient creatures, as you see right here, who love to show off their belly. Terrifying. and this ancient statue. There's also a bunch of crabs lying around here, or just washing up on the shores and everything. Oh, hi, Homer. How you doing? So originally, if you were a part of the, or if you saw the original tour, I had a plate of some kind of jelly-filled donuts. I don't actually know what they're called, but they weren't like Homer Simpson kind of donuts. Since the 2.0 update came out, there is officially chocolate donuts, and I think also white frosting donuts. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any pink ones, so this is the closest as I can get to a pink donut. But if you're wondering about the Homer meme, the painting, I'm gonna call it, because again, I don't actually, the terrain, the whatever it's called, the design, holy cow, I cannot believe I had to look at the menu in order to figure out the word, because again, when I record, words just slip my mind. I don't exactly remember how I got it. I remember just Googling, searching it, and then this popped up. And I don't actually remember the code for this. If I do happen to remember the code and want to use it, it'll be in the description. Otherwise, if it's not there, then... Now, I guess you could just look up Homer Simpson Animal Crossing designs, and this should pop up. But I thought it was funny. And I thought it blended in really well in the corner. Just kind of something unexpected. Like, that's the main reason I start over on the right side, is because just primarily this, but also a bunch of things that make it kind of look like ancient artifacts, as well as the lighthouse over there. Which, by the way, that's my default lighthouse. I never really changed that. So there's that, and I believe also down here is not really that important, but I'll show it up anyways before we get into the big parts. And that is seaweed. That's not the main thing, but the main thing is right down here where there's the beach area. You'll get coconut juice and you'll get tea on your beach, but there's also this pier, which is now home to Captain, who I'm not going to talk to yet. But aside from Captain, you can go fishing here. He has some fishing rods for you, free bait whenever you want, just please don't take it. And if you have a diving suit, why not just go diving around here, since, you know, you got everything you need, like a diving board, fishing, etc. It's all there for you. And if you're feeling crafty, you can craft some fish bait. That's why it's there, for you to craft fish baits. But also down here, I'll bring this up as well, since we're already down here. Hopefully this is counterclockwise. Oh, I'll go over to the neighborhood after this. But this is the bigger and better beach carnival. In the previous one, it was smaller because it only had the teacup ride and the cotton candy stalls. And because the 2.0 updated so much more, and I actually did make a building montage video, which you can find as well. If you check out the playlist, I think I'll actually remember to put the playlist in the top right corner. I updated this whole section, or upgraded it to make it bigger through a stream. And honestly, it's way better. So we have your little games here. You can play to win a prize. Oh, Eric's on the island, which means he's not gonna be in his house. Great. But yeah, there's some prizes you can win, including a dinosaur and some stuffed animals. You can get yourself some cotton candy. And as per usual, with every single carnival, you gotta have your fried food. Also, I don't know why the cake's there, but yeah, fried food. If there's two things people love about carnivals, is the rides and the fried food. There might be more, but that just depends on the person. Now let's actually get into the neighborhood here. I didn't give any of the villagers any particularly themed areas like I know a lot of people would. And before I actually installed the same fence around here, I used to have different fencings for each of the characters to represent whether their personality or the coloring or what they're supposed to be based off of. But there was a couple issues with that. Number one, if there was a certain fence for that character that I wanted and I didn't have that much of it, I'd have to replace it with, or I had to fill the gaps with another fence that was completely different. But number two, looking at it thematically, it was just a mishmash and it didn't work out that well. So I decided for the neighborhoods, it'll be this country fence. You'll see it on the left side as well. And honestly, it just blends in really well. So here in the neighborhood, if we go in order of this house, we have Pietro, we have Eric, we have Audie, we have Raymond, far over there with his little cat house. I did provide items for each of them to represent the theme to make up for it. And the newest one, Anka. I love how I had to repeat the newest one twice. My commentary in a nutshell, guys. Also, Eric, what is up? Oh, don't tell me you're rude. Just think about my house, because I do that sometimes. It's super comfy for me, the bugs and floors, but I wonder what the folks think of it. Hey, I know. Would you like to come over and check it out? Yeah, you know what? I can show you guys Eric's house, because I never really showed it off, so I guess kind of a little detour from the tour. it'll actually lead into something that's actually behind Eric's house. So this is Eric's brand new house. He was the default normal villager that I actually got via... There's a particular part of the game I can't remember where you had a default peppy villager and a default normal villager. And regularly, Eric's house had like snow, like a ski lodge wall and snow floor. But because he was the default normal villager for our island, he instead got a dirt floor. He got some sort of dirt-ish wall. I can't remember what it was called, and that was basically about it. He also had like a parapet and whatnot. Again, if you've seen those videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. But here, I decided to revamp it away from that. So I give him kind of a log cabin feel, and honestly, it fits him really well. Maybe even better than the ski one. Actually, I think the ski one's actually pretty good too. So this might be second best. Welcome home. Just kidding. I wonder if I can leave now so I can go to the default. Oh, alright. I guess this is kind of the downside, is that if you visit their house, you have to stay in here for a while. And by that I mean a long while, so make yourself at home because we will be here for quite a while. Anyways, I guess I could talk about... I was about to say talk about the, my start with the island, but I guess it really isn't a start because there's the theme again and whatnot. Oh wait, I can actually use this kitchen to cook something. I should have known that, but I didn't. I don't have anything to prep, so I don't know why I came here. Eric, can I go yet? Oh, come on, Eric, please, Eric. Buddy, do you see the people? They want a tour of the island. They don't want a tour of your house. They've already seen it all. They've seen the food. He's a food fanatic, by the way, at my island. They've seen the toys. They've seen everything. Eric. Eric, please. Eric, please. All right, if I go in the bed and I eat some food, can I go? Oh my gosh, no way! Please, Eric. Well, this is the option you get after beating 30 houses in a Happy Home Paradise. I apologize for spoiling something in case you haven't really seen or haven't really finished Happy Home Paradise, which for some people... Oh, by the way, that's Summer's clothes. Which for some people, I completely understand. Because you may have got bored of it pretty quickly, but there is a reason. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to cut away until... I'll be right back. How long is this going to take? Well, actually, I can show this off. Here's a trick you can do for the cart thing. Again, this is going off the tour thing, but like... Here's a little trick that I do. Because I think there's 9 numbers, usually there's a higher chance. Let's say, for example, this number is 3, right? There's a higher chance that the number is higher instead of lower. Watch it be totally wrong and it's actually lower. It better not be, actually. No way, it is! Eric, you freaking troll! Okay, now can I please get out of here? I lost your game. Finally! Oh my gosh, that took forever. Maybe I don't have to cut it out. Wait. Oh. I was like, man, I could leave. He just gave me a gift. I don't know what he gave me, but anyways, back to the tour of the island. I did not expect it to go long. I guess I just had to play a game with them, and then that was it. Man, Eric really wanted to hold up the tour for so long. But anyways, that leads us perfectly to what's back here, which is kind of I almost said something, a Japanese-themed spa area with a Toro's hot tub, you know, kind of have 2 hot tubs. We got a koi area right here. And the kekiropi, I think it's normally a bench, but I made it a table. Actually blends in with this theming very well. And if you angle it, I actually had angles in mind when it came to this island as well. If you look at it at an angle, it's also nicer with the bamboo and the tree behind there. We'll get a closer look at that later on. And the waterfalls. It's absolutely beautiful when combined together. Oh, I was like, sit here in case you don't feel like dipping your feet in the bathtub. One of the 2 bathtubs. Tora's bathtub is just there for aesthetics. But, you know, 2 people can bathe there at the same time if they wanted to, you know. No judgment here. No judgment here. Alright, so you'll notice that the neighborhood here is actually around this lake. This was technically a default. I didn't really do that much construction over the lake. I thought it was pretty as it is. I might have made it bigger. And it kind of reminds me of my hometown, which was kind of around a giant lake too, which is kind of interesting. So anyways, oh, I almost forgot something. I was about to go over to the other area. But we're going to go down here and into kind of a secret bar area. You know, you can get your drinks here. You can listen to some tunes. I can't remember what's playing on here. Let's see. Aloha KK. That's what I thought. I was playing the other one because I have my TV muted. But you can also get some food. This is specifically serving up some seafood items. So you have some seaweed soup over here. You got yourself some cooked dab. And if you want to sit down the bar, I can get you guys some drinks. Virgin pina colada, anyone? Because I'm pretty sure there might be some kids watching this, and no alcohol for the kiddies at all. And then there's some bugs everywhere as well. That's gonna be a theme. Is going forward, there'll be flowers of different colors on this side, but also some bug statues to kind of spice it up a bit and have it not just flowers. Anyways, let's move on to the city portion of the island here, which isn't a whole lot. There's this restaurant we'll go into much later. There is the Able Sisters and the Nook store. There's also Town Hall right behind, and the museum all the way over here. And yes, Tommy got really greedy and have like candy stores, a couple gotcha things, crane games, drink and food machines, and an ATM because they just want you to spend bells. They just want you to spend bells. Speaking of spending bells, let's go inside and actually, I guess, spend some bells. Because, you know, we have to support Tommy and Tom Nook, right? And I want to just show you guys something interesting about the island. So we're going to buy this in this example. We're not actually going to buy it. I'm just going to show you guys. The price of this is a little bit more expensive. And that's because I have the bell ordinance. Basically kind of make things more expensive, but at the same time, if you sell items, you get more bells. So that goes ways. Oh my gosh, Alright, I'm gonna go into the kitchen for a bit. But I had to get the dishwasher from the Happy Home Paradise Island. And then they were all like, we actually had it in our store today. What a bunch of trolls. What a bunch of trolls. Anyways. Anka's sitting by the butterfly, which is actually perfect because we're going to segue into the museum real quick. Actually, there's a museum right there, but I want to show off this. Welcome to the Club Costa Casino. There used to be a couple lounges here, but since then it's been replaced with slot machines. Every single thing is slot machines. This is kind of how we make our money here on the island. You know, you buy some things, you go gambling, etc. Speaking of, let's see if I can get the jackpot on my first try. Second try. Third try? Poggers! I actually got it! I was actually just going to go and be like, oh well, we tried. I didn't think we were actually going to get that. Well, I won the jackpot, and then again, I'm a resident. I always win. Phone booth over here, followed by more patterns, or standing flag, and then this is the entrance to the museum. You kind of get a preview of some of the things you could see in the museum, mostly aqua life and insect life and some fossils, and I guess the lion statues represent artwork as well, and there's a little waterfall behind it. You can't see it unless I angle the camera up and down, but there is a waterfall over there. And just so you know, this museum is 100% complete, meaning every bug is in there, every sea creature, both fishing and diving, every artwork and every fossil, but there's also the roost for your coffee convenience, because 2.0 actually updated that. They also added this, which allows you to stretch, so maybe I'll do that as a final thing, was to stretch the villagers so that you can kind of see some of the villagers in action. Moving over here, wow, there's there's gold in the playground, but I actually wanted to show off the path, because there is not only a bunch of flowers, there's actually a bunch of hybrids. Very rarely will you see non-hybrid flowers, but that's because I planted a lot of hybrids, or actually grew a lot of hybrids, but there's also a bunch of fruit trees. And if you actually angle this camera here, you get a very nice view of the pagoda in the back. Again, kind of, or actually not kind of, really using the C-stick back portions. What am I trying to say? Using the C-stick to your advantage if you look up. Basically, using perspective to its fullest potential. Kind of like Disneyland. Holy cow, why did it take me forever to word that properly? I swear, when I don't script things, it just goes off the wall. But going back to this is a cute little playground. You got some horse rides, you got little tires that kids can like ride upon or walk upon, run upon. You got a little side, little jungle gym, which you can actually sit on, by the way. Very few people actually know that you can sit on this. Don't know why you want to sit on this, but you can sit on this. But we also have a bench, we have a rock climbing wall, which blocks stuff. This portion right here, I actually purposely put a lot of stuff in so that you don't sneak your way through. I did make sure this island is accessible without the vaulting pole or the ladder, which is why this bridge is over here. But I'm not going to show off what's on this side of the bridge just yet. We're going to get to that at some point later on. Now let's make our way back over to the city portion, since I've shown pretty much everything, including the museum and the town hall and the entrance, which has the fountain, which actually I didn't fully show that off. Let me show it off real quick. This is the only thing that I didn't show you guys was the fountain. This is actually inspired by the Main Street USA Plaza, like a Disneyland. As soon as you reach the castle, there's a statue with Walt and Mickey, and then a couple side characters get like small statues. That's kind of the inspiration behind this. And I decided 2 bugs and 2 sea creatures because this is the only things you can get models of from both Flick and CJ. But also show off the Able Sisters, but I'm not really going to do that. And actually, let's just go around this way. You can go, you could just go left, but I'm going to take this route. Now, actually, before I continue on, here is the DIY shop. Basically, if there's any DIY recipes you may want that you don't have, you're more than welcome to come over here and take some DIY recipes and then drop some off you may want. Of course, you can sell them or store them now, which kind of beats the purpose of this, but I do like it. And this is something I'd probably never want to change, like, at all. Anyways, let's go to this arch now and into the second neighborhood, which contains Octavian, Fauna, who has her new house that she is not in, but that's fine. We saw a video about that. Hobby and Marshall live right next to each other. And then we have Apollo. And then my house is directly across. I'll get into that. That'll be the final portion. But this is kind of a more cozy neighborhood sort of thing. You got a little scarecrow over here. You got Mr. Rossetti by a fireplace. Kind of a cozy place. And speaking of cozy, oh my gosh, 2 squirrels are together. How fitting. That's cute. They're actually underneath the beech tree. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I also had a picnic over there. Forgot to mention that. You guys might have seen it already. Also have a phone notification, but we're not going to worry about that. And they have a bridge together. There's like a little lake and whatnot. I don't really ship them, but I thought it was cute to have a bridge connected together. Kind of like neighbors. And here we have an outdoor gym. This is where a lot of villagers come and work out. You have the proper music to do that. You got some punching bags to go punching and do some exercises and do pull-ups. And if you're strong enough, lift this up. I can't really do that. Oh wait, never mind. I'm stronger than I thought. Holy cow! I need to go on. I need to participate in the Olympics. And if you're wondering about this water container here, it's because you know, during a workout, you're probably going to be thirsty, you're probably going to be sweaty, so we have complimentary towels, and we have complimentary water. And it is actually inspired by the gym that is on my residential, I live in a residential gated area, and the gym actually has, like, water, like a little water container, and cups of water, so whenever people work out and they forget the water bottles, they have the option of getting water that way. So that's the biggest inspiration for this outdoor gym. And if you're worried about anything else here, there's protein shake. You just gotta go around and get yourself a protein shake. One protein shake, please. I need a workout. But yeah, that's about basically that portion of the beach. I didn't really do much with the beaches aside from putting like lifeguard chairs and making it feel like it's an actual beach area. So nothing really too detailed there aside from the gym and the pier. Also, there's a bunch of balloons over here. Holy cow. So this is where I also put in the rarest flowers, being purple and black flowers. Okay, actually the rarest is gold, but I have an entire bed of gold roses. You guys might have seen it. Man, I'm pointing out so many details much later on. Then again, I do that when I'm recording. As well as forgetting things. If you couldn't tell. So let's actually head over to the right. If you're familiar with the series, this used to be kind of like a little concert stage. But since then, there's a bench over here. This used to be, I think, a DIY section. Actually, I don't remember what this used to be. But that used to be a hot tub area, I believe. And then it was a rock or like a concert stage. But since then, it's a memorabilia of Costa Nerd's past. So as you can see, that is the very first fountain. Costa Nerd, when we were able to craft stuff, that was the very first fountain I ever built. And then we have some of the villagers of the past who are no longer with us. The latest being Chai. We also have Tiffany, Pashmina, and Flora. Basically, all the villagers I was able to get photos of, as well as the very first two villagers that helped out build Costa Nerd. Goose and Rocket. Without them, this island would not be where it is right now. You also kind of see a little bit of stuff that might be ahead. But I'm getting way ahead of myself here. Let's move on to this portion over here. This is something interesting. Oh, I'll go over to the arcade first. Arcade right here. Oh my gosh, I realized. Because one of the paths is taken down. This is frosting. Alright. I might have to reconstruct this one. But you know what? Maybe I'll keep it. This is kind of cool, actually. It's like a little arcade area. I'm actually going to keep it. This is not purposely done, by the way. But this is like our little arcade area. You got yourself little dark things, got some arcade games and pinball. But this is kind of like my workstation. I have everything closely convenient. I have the storage area and then the crafting area directly next to it. So all I had to do is take some things out and then craft it and put it back away. And I have a trash can for any extra junk. Speaking of, oh, Eric gave me driving. I did not know that. I am definitely not throwing that away. Also, the map lies to you here. There is not just 10 villagers. Or is it 12? Yeah, it's 12. There's a 13th villager. Say hi to Melvin. He is a simplistic crab. He does not need a house. He just enjoys living on the beach, vibing with some marshmallows and coconut water. Man, I am jealous of him. But heading over to where Melvin is his diving board. If you have a diving suit, you can go diving up here. And it's surrounded by water to kind of make you hop a little bit before diving. I think it's actually kind of cool. No other diving boards, as far as I know, actually do this. And I think that's kind of cool. Plus, it's nearby a little beach area. You can go over here as well. Can I actually take a shortcut over here? I think I can't. Oh, wait, yeah, I can. So there's two ways you can go over here. Either by hopping across or by taking this path over here. Which leads us to what the bridge at the playground connected us to, and weeds. Lots of them. But welcome to the campsite. Probably the most natural looking place of all of Costa Nerd. Really, you get in touch with nature here and nowhere else, which is why I'm picking up so many weeds to make it cleaner, obviously. But yeah, you have your campsite here, you have an extra tent for the kiddies, or just a natural experience. You have yourself some toasted marshmallows over by the waterfall in case you want that aesthetic. You can also pick up as much weeds as you want in here, which is what I'm doing. There's also sticks and whatnot. There's a giant fire pit, which I'll actually go to right now after picking this up. Oh my gosh, I'm picking so many weeds up. But there is that fireplace over there. You can sit down, enjoy some time, sing some campfire songs, maybe the one from SpongeBob or something like that. And just overall have a really, really good time. And then there's some crops over here. You got some fruit over here you can go pick up and use whatever you want. There's a crafting station. I didn't think of a cooking area unless you could cook on this. Let's see. Imagine if we could cook on this. That would be pleasant. That would be the ultimate camping experience. Imagine cooking from a grill. Actually, I'm actually kind of sad Nintendo didn't do that. Nintendo should have done that. Just cooking from the barbecue. Yo, look what I made. Cookies off the grill. I could actually go for that right now. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, I'm done picking up weeds. I promise. But let's head up this hiking trail, which is all dirt path. The only downside of having a dirt path, while it does look natural, is things can still spawn, like fossils and weeds. And while, yes, I could have chosen another path, or I could have also included some customized patterns to display on the ground, it would not make it as natural. So the only thing that I have going for this path is the rocks, and that's pretty much about it. Anyways, I'm getting side distracted by this path here. So let's start from back here and let's actually make our way around. So you'll notice something if you go down here. This is what I love to call the Lovers Cove. Basically, you sit down on this bench with your loved one. You get a nice sound of the fountains, the sweet sounds of stale cupcakes, and you look out into the sunset. It's a beautiful thing, really. Just truly beautiful. But then you go over here, and this is actually themed based on like Alice in Wonderland. This is one of the few themed areas of the whole island. You have some weird mushrooms growing in. You kind of have a little tea party going on over here. You have a bunch of giant butterflies and just mushrooms everywhere. You also have a nice blend of pink and blue, and actually I think it's just pink and purple flowers and some very rainbow colored mushrooms, if I say so myself. But if you head down here, this is actually another restaurant. This is, well, one of two restaurants. This is the first one we've seen. This is a mountain view restaurant. Basically, even though you can't really see the mountain because of the brick wall, it's kind of buffet style. So you have yourself some grapes, you have yourself some soup, you have yourself some water, and of course you have yourself some dessert. There's also lobster. Don't tell him, but he might be the next meal. Speaking of meals, how about we enjoy some meals over here right now? Also, let me know if you see any particular blue-haired character, because I can't really see. I'm too busy eating, as you can see right here. Oh, also there's pizza. Also, was there a blue-haired character? I don't know. Anyways, I'm full. Let's continue on with the tour. So head up to this portion right here. Continue ways up, pick up some tree branches for good luck, and dig up some fossils if you want to, and pick up some weeds. We have a beach area, which, yeah, even I don't know how to get over there, so don't ask. But there's also the farm area. Would you look at that? It's got your veggies, it's got your pumpkins, it's got your potatoes, your wheats, your sugar, whatever you want. It's got it all. It's got a tractor. It's even got some storage areas. This used to be the wedding area in the 1.0 tour. But since then, I wanted to make a farm area to kind of convolute with the fact that there's like now crops that you can plant. And don't worry, that wedding area is still here. It's just smaller. This is the new wedding area. Sure, it's a little bit smaller, but you can still happily get married to Costa Nerd while taking a view of the bamboo and potential city life. Nothing can beat that. Absolutely nothing, I feel. Also, there's vines everywhere, so you could just climb up these if you wanted to. I choose not to, just to kind of give you guys a nice long effect of the tour. Oh, also, let's head up. I don't know what wording that was. I tried to combine head and over, and it just mashed together. But if we head over here, we get a closer look at the pagoda, as well as, if I can find it, a much less clear view of that blue-haired character. Who is that anyways? I don't even know. I feel like I know a certain channel that does that, but I can't put my tongue on it. I know he has a series, what is it, minute 39 or something? I don't know. That guy is strange. Anyways, walking way over here past the giant tree, which you saw a little earlier from the spa area. Make your way over here. You can sit down if you want, ring the gong, take a look at the graves, and here we have the forest area of the whole village. Actually, I had no intentions of putting in more of these Lily of the Valleys I didn't really think of putting flowers at all because I just really wanted to show off the pool over in the middle of the island. But a friend of mine, Ganda Chris, actually recommended that I actually included more of the Lily of the Valleys. And honestly, that was the best idea I've ever gotten because holy cow, this makes it even prettier looking. Also, don't mind that one. Especially at night. I heard that guy, that creature over there, his eyes can glow. I'm not really sure about that. Oh yeah, you can also climb down this vine and take a look at the treasure that's down below. Many people who've been to my island say that Turtle's guarding the treasure, but he's just there. It's his natural home. It's just treasures on the other side. And no, you can't go down and grab it, unfortunately. I made sure it was possible for you to not get it. That stays there. Don't get greedy now. So that is all of the outside of the island. Now, I did mention I had a restaurant and I have my own house. But I don't know about you, but I want to get some food first. So how about we grab a seat at our restaurant? Which is actually 4 different themes, right? No, 5. 5, duh. There's 5 themes to the whole restaurant. So as soon as you enter in here, you have yourself a 50s diner aesthetic. Which, yes, is probably one of the few good parts about the 50s, depending on who you ask. Because I know some people will be like, 50s is great, and then others are like, 50s, ooh, yeah, those were rough times. But the food part is definitely the best. So I made sure everything was all 50s aesthetic. As you can see, we have some retro things. We have a slushy machine that fits the 50s aesthetic. And unfortunately, our restaurant does not have burgers right now, so the closest thing you get is a sandwich. But it does come with fries and a drink, so I mean, that's pretty cool. We also have some soda pops. This is technically iced coffee, but it looks like soda, shut up. And we have strawberry soda over here on this side as well. And also there's cola here just hanging around. And a gold trophy to represent the fact that this was a gold house. Fun fact, and something that really, really cringes me every single time. This house got the gold trophy before my main house. And it was not intended to have the gold trophy. It was just basically show off the restaurants. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Let's move on from that and let's head over to the right because I wanted to go towards the bottom, but I guess not. And on the right side, we have this sports bar. Now, before they used to sell different kinds of drinks, like I think there was like some sort of shamrock shake, but since then they've actually had actual drinks that you find at a bar, like these bottles. And also, these don't really show sports. Listen, I'm not in charge of the stations here. You have to talk to Tom Nook about that. But hey, if you want to sit down and have some orange juice, quote unquote, to make YouTube not demonetize this video for whatever reason, there you go. You can sit down, you can have some drinks and whatnot, and experience all the sports goodiness in one area. Also, there's a pinball machine, which if you're under the influence of water, quote unquote, please play responsibly. Just, we don't want to mess. We really don't want to mess here. And for one drinking area to another, and by that I mean coffee, how about we take a look at the cafe that's all the way over on the other side of the restaurant, or the 50s diner. They're all restaurants, I remember. 50s diner, and then the 2 upstairs and downstairs are completely different restaurants as well. But welcome to the cafe and bakery, where you can get your coffee and also a slice of cake if you want, or you could just have a whole cake delivered to you, either via cart or to your house. It's not really established, but you can actually have home delivery if you live on the island. Or if you're visiting the campsite, you can have that option as well. So you can have yourself some coffee, you can have yourself some nice sandwiches with chips and a coffee, or you can just order from some of our premium cakes. We even do weddings. And just special occasions like birthdays and whatnot, or if you just want a slice of cake to go, we have that option as well. We're also up to date on the technology. We have a touchscreen cash register. And all of our coffee is the greatest. Although, Bruce is very close. I will say that much. Don't tell Brewster we said that, though. Anyways, how's about we head downstairs now for some more convenient, well, not convenient, more fancy and oriental food. Welcome to the Chinese restaurant. inspired by actual Chinese restaurants, and this is something that I did on stream. Actually, I did the whole restaurant house on stream, and I had viewers suggest things specifically for this one. So they came up with the wall idea, they came up with the floor. The only thing I added since the update were these vases which had dragons on them, but everything else remains the same. So we have the same signs, we have the lion statues, and a rotating table with all the Chinese food you could ever want. Oh my gosh, I want Chinese food now. I really do. This is making me hungry. But yes, this is absolutely my favorite restaurant room in this entire house. Because look at how well it's done. Again, one of my favorites. And the things I added were minimal, but also really added to that. I absolutely love this place. But I have to move on to the final restaurant. And then I'll show you guys behind the scenes of how all this happened, because the background shows the behind the scenes. Welcome to the most expensive restaurant, the Skyview Restaurant. We have a view of the city, while also experiencing some elegant food, but that I mean, much higher quality dab. There is some extra gold and spice in there that makes it a bit more expensive. In fact, 10 million bells to eat here. That was not my decision, that was Tom Nook's. But you do get some nice, elegant food. You have some nice scenery. In fact, if you're lucky enough, you can actually see the moon. Well, you can't really see it, but like, it's there. It's just a lighted background and whatnot. There's also a fancy little photo right there. Thought it'd be a nice little touch, and it kind of fits a night atmosphere, which is why there's no lights on, but there's a couple lamps over there. All right. I know you want to see the behind the scenes. You're probably hungry. Where's the kitchenette? Follow me. I'll show you right now. Welcome to the kitchen. There's been some additions, including a dishwasher, new stoves, a place to store fish because it's one of our main menus items is the fish, especially for the Sky restaurant as well as the Chinese restaurant, and just more kitchen materials for our chefs to cook in. Although there's one chef who does it all, and her name is actually Chef. Don't believe me? There you go. There's your proof. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things. You got some pans. You have this pizza kitchen, which cooks nothing but pizza. So if you're hungry for pizza, there you go. Fridge to store everything. Everything essentially a restaurant kitchen needs. Or in this case, a restaurant that has 5 different kinds of restaurants inside of it. Which, man, how does she do that all within one restaurant? Or within that one small kitchen, she makes all of that. It's amazing. We have the best chef on Costa Nerd. And probably the only one, for that matter. Anyways, I think it's time now for the grand finale. Well, actually, there's 2 things, but I'll get into the grand of grand finales at a much later point. Because there was something outdoors that I didn't particularly miss out on, but I did not want to do until the end on purpose. So let's explore my house. Which upon entering, you're greeted with basically kind of a retro aesthetic house that has all the photos of all of our villagers, including Anka, who was the most recent one, and I had to do some time traveling in order to get her photo, and it took a few days to actually get that. So it has all the photos of the past of the villagers, not the past ones. Those ones are actually on display on the right side of my house, but also has some museum ones and some fun memories. I did not realize that's a pirate ship. But also has artwork displaying different themes of each room going forward. The only exception being the upstairs and the downstairs, which doesn't really have that. So as you can see, you have this front wall, kind of this island, like tall rock island, kind of indicating that's gonna be something far away. You also have this house island or home thing, I don't know what that has to do. And then you have a painting with food on it, which is an indicator of the kitchen. And the theme for this house is actually kind of like, as I mentioned before, older house themes, like vintage houses, because I love actually history. I love like exploring like different paths and going back at school and thinking about it. I think history was like one of my favorite subjects. Actually, it was definitely my favorite subject going back. I remember thinking science was my favorite going to high school, but then looking back and it's like, yeah, history. I loved a lot. And I still do to this day. Which is why I have this vintage thing. Kind of get homage to that. Anyways, I know we just ate at the restaurant, but do you have room for seconds? Because welcome to the country kitchen. Actually inspired by my hometown of the mountains of California. Which is why we have the Lock Cabin theme. There's also some country music playing in here right now. And speaking of country, those two albums are actually real country albums. We have Alan Jackson and Brad Paisley. Holy cow, okay. How come I can't find words for things in Animal Crossing, but when it comes to country artists, I can easily tell those two. I will never understand. Anyways, this has a much more country feeling now. As before, there were kitchen items, but didn't really have a cabin or kitchen theme. Yes, this is what I was going for, by the way, was a cabin theme, which explains the bugs on the wall. I know many people aren't fans of that, but for a country kitchen aesthetic, it actually works really, really well. And of course, you can't have a country kitchen without pancakes, french fries, and some homemade apple pie. And of course, steaks, but I wasn't able to make steaks. But hey, pizza! That's a second closed option, right? Looks like spinach pizza over here. And, I guess whatever this is. What is that anyways? More pancakes on that? I don't know. But there's that. Also, did I just see something bitten in here? No, I'm just seeing things. But yeah, that is the country kitchen. Very homey, very country. That was a word I just made up. So now, let's head over up here. I'm gonna go counterclockwise. Or no, it's still technically... No, counterclock. No, counterclockwise would be still clockwise, just starting from the left. Welcome to the Japan-inspired room. You may not know this, but I have a huge obsession with everything Japan. So I wanted to make a room dedicated to this, including the Golden Wall, which is honestly probably one of my favorite walls. So as you can see, we have a bunch of kimonos, we have a lot of Japanese-inspired art pieces, whether it's like KK Slider or actual Japanese art pieces, or even the squid, which actually does kind of look like it could be like a Japanese painting or something like that. That's actually kind of neat. I didn't even realize that. We have a kimono, hot kimono, absolutely one of my favorite kimonos. Dragons, of course, one of my favorite mythical creatures. So of course I include a dragon in there. But everything else is just inspired by Japan. I'm actually currently saving some money to hopefully go on a trip to Tokyo one day. And I actually did the math, and because I'm working now at a part-time job, I could have enough money by June to go there if I still wanted to, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's head over to the right now, and we'll take a look at the bathroom/gym. It's not even kidding. This portion right here is the bathroom. It's got a gold toilet and a shower, also sink and all that. But over on this side is the gym. It's also separated by dividers. One of the few rooms that actually has the dividers. Beforehand, it was actually fine without the dividers. I also included some wood tiles. Gonna give out kind of like a gym vibe. This is my own personal gym that I'm gonna be honest, I don't really use that much, especially compared to the bigger outdoor gym that everyone can use. But sometimes I just want to have my own personal gym with a treadmill that I can go at my own pace, and as well as some sport areas as well, sports stuff. I could have sworn I turned off the treadmill. There we go. I was worried there for a second. I was not gonna lie. And their weight, you know, just kind of check them on a weight. It's always by the front entrance because I may never know. Sometimes it might be full. And I wake up in the morning and I go downstairs and I look at the weight, look at the scale, and I'm like, oh crap, I definitely gained some weight afterwards. Speaking of stairs, let's go upstairs to my own personal bedroom, which has a lot of aesthetics that the living room once had, which was this flooring as well as the wall. It was like that living room, but then this changed. And this is kind of like my gaming room / bedroom. Kind of similar to my actual bedroom of sorts, where the bed is like in the middle and there's like some aesthetics. I have a lot of pets. I have a frog, I have a koi, I have a tarantula, and I have a sealkin. Oh, and a snapping turtle. I gotta forget this guy. Look at him, he's cute. Is he not? But this is where I also keep all my trophies, including the gold trophies. I think the only exception is the gold house trophy, which is in the living room portion of my island, or of my house. We also have a dressing room, which also did use the divider. I almost actually kind of forgot about that. And then my PC setup, which is all gaming. I hate to turn this off, but let's save power. I actually don't think I can now. You know, kind of wish I actually had something like this in real life, but I don't. I don't actually have that. I'm jealous of streamers that actually do have that setup. I mean, I kind of do because I have a laptop and a small TV. Actually, now that I think about it, if I had it set up like that, where would all that go? Huh, interesting. And normally I don't show the downstairs, but I trust you to keep a secret, right? I hope so. Welcome to the basement, or as I like to call, the security room. There sits a security camera with a couch, kind of Matrix style, and a lot of servers. Oh, and hi Sans, how are you? We got a computer, basically, kind of make the area, or the whole island, safer, to put it in perspective. Because I have a copy machine for some reason, we have a couple saves, and there's some money here. Which I can't access yet. I can access the save, but yeah, this is where also we have some extra bells, you know, for projects, quote unquote. And nothing furthermore. All good today. And believe it or not, this also has some wall dividers. These are actually wall dividers because this used to be all security camera walls. And I decided the server walls would be the best. And I decided this portion right here, because of the 2.0 update, it allows you to put like an extra set of wallpapers on only one side of the wall. This was the security camera one. But hey, you can kind of go around and like push the A button and absolutely nothing happens, which is kind of cool. Oh wait, what happened? Well, I guess I turned on the light. Stop turning on the light, darn it. See, absolutely nothing happened. Oh, what's this? Wait, I did not mean to do that. Just kidding. I actually kind of meant to do that because this is where the secret beach is. Yeah, I made it so that you had to take a secret pipe, which you might have heard of. Take a secret pipe all the way over here. Sometimes I think it just lands in the same area, which is kind of a 50% chance. And in case Red shows up, we have a secret way of getting to him. Red has tried to come to the rest of the island a couple times, and he's done it via the pipe. Which is kind of saying a lot. The fact that he knows that is kind of interesting and kind of weird too. Wow, I can't believe this tour has almost been an hour. There's so much within this. But anyways, there's one last thing I wanted to show off. And that's actually behind my house. I didn't show off that much of my house actually because there's a few things I didn't want to spoil. You might have seen a few things in there already. Like there was a pool room and... or not a pool room, like a little game room with table tennis and pool. Speaking of a pool, there's also a swimming pool with my favorite fruit of all time, if I can get over there quickly, which is the apple tree. Oh my gosh. Right, I had to remember this path over here. Apple tree, got some gold roses. Actually, one gold rose and one green lily, or green mum. I can't go over here, which is lucky. And the giant robot. But... you take this ladder path, you can kind of see it right here. And then you take this ladder path all the way up here. Welcome to my throne. With the fire pillar behind me, I rule all of Costa Nerd. I rarely come up here, but when I do, it's super nice. Also just realized that doesn't blend in with the snow that well. This was meant for obviously beaches, but it works here. It really does. It's a beautiful thing. Oh wait, that's because there's sand there, I think. I just realized. With that, that is the tour of Costa Nerd 2.0. And one last thing I want to do, now that I've cleared all of the weeds and whatnot. If you want to visit this island, I'll have the dream address in the description. That'll be the one thing I actually have. If I don't remember the Homer one, you'll have that. You'll know that. But I also finally want to give out the dream address to this island. Since I don't think there'll be a 3.0 update, Nintendo said this is potentially the final update. No, I think for sure they said this would be the final update. So I'm going to go inside my bed, and I'm going to share with you guys the dream address and update this island, which was well overdue at this point. But I had to put in a lot of efforts. In fact, before I do that, let me show you how many hours I spent on this entire game. Almost 1,000 hours on this game. 50 hours more than Smash Ultimate. That is a crazy amount. Also, yeah, you might have seen my friend code. Please do not add me. I will only accept requests from, like, close friends. But yeah, I want to sleep. I want to drift off into dreamland. And update my island for what will potentially be the last time. And as I do that, I want to thank you guys. For those of you who've been watching this whole series, if you just watched the tour part, thank you. I appreciate that. But for those of you who've been watching since the very beginning, thank you all so much for tuning in. It really means a lot. From the 30-day live stream, which is fun, to the updates and all that. Yes, I am certain. Just thank you all for the lovely memories. It feels sad to actually leave all this behind now that the whole series is over. What you love most about Costa Nerd? Relax. Relax. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy as soon as I post the code. I hope you guys enjoy all of Costa Nerd. And if you're looking for the code, you want to not see the whole video, it'll be in the description, but I'm pretty sure at this point you might have seen the whole video. But there's the dream address right there. I'll have to write it down at some point. But I want to thank you all. Actually, I'll screenshot it and make it easier. Hopefully I remember to take out my Switch just as I'm done uploading this, or recording this. But with that said, I want to wake up, and I want to thank you guys for watching not only this tour video, but for watching Animal Crossing New Horizons as a series on my channel, if you watch it as a series. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys in a future project. Whatever that may be, who knows? Until we meet again though, please do remember to take care.